नमस्कार। आप सभी लोग अपने घरों पर सकुशल सानंद रूप से अपने परिवारजनों के साथ रह रहे होंगे तथा वैश्विक बीमारी कोविड-19 जो इस समय महामारी का रूप ले चुकी है से बचने के उपायों पर बहुत विशेष ध्यान दे रहे होंगे। साथ ही अपने आस पड़ोस में ऐसे लोग जो किसी वजह से इस तकलीफ़ में आ गए हैं उनकी मदद करने में भी हेल्प कर रहे होंगे तथा सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग का पालन कर रहे होंगे। इस पूर्ण आशा के साथ हम अपने वापस टॉपिक पे आते हैं कि वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द इकोसिस्टम इन विच वी आर जनरली टॉक अबाउट द फंक्शन ऑफ इकोसिस्टम्स। हम कल बात कर रहे थे अपने फंक्शन ऑफ इकोसिस्टम की, इन विच we have talked about the productivity, right? Especially about GPP and NPP, how they can be affected and how those can be affected by different factors. After that we have talked about the decompositions, in which we have known that how the different detritus can be decomposes, right? And what are different steps of the decomposing of those substances. Later on we have also talked about that the different factors which affect the decompositions, right? In which especially we have talked about the factors, that is the chemical composition of the detritus and the chemical factors. In the same, in the chain of that one, we have to talk about another topic, that is called the energy flow, right? For the energy flow we have to talk about this. Energy flow means generally we can say the ultimate source of energy on the surface of earth, that is sun. Means each and every organism will get the energy from the only with the help of sun, not from anywhere else. So we can say it is the most important thing in the point of view of the getting the energy. But how this energy can be getted from that sun, means how the sun's energy can be comes to us with the help of that conditions, means what are the different conditions through which the energy can become. For that if we can talk about the total incident solar radiations less than 50% of the photosynthetic active radiations, means if we can say, we can talk about the total photosynthetic radiation, means we can say easily, mean the total, the light which can be just passes from the or emit from the sun, only 50% radiation can be seen or becomes an incident solar radiation, right? We can say that out of that 50, that becomes the par means photosynthetically active radiation, right? And we can say especially the plants which can capable to do the photosynthetic process, they can capable to capture only 2 to 10% of the power, means only the total amount of light which is produced by the sun, it is only that is only 50% becomes power, and out of that 50% we will get only 2 to 10%, right? So we can say energy sustains especially on the earth, and we can also say that the small amount of energy sustain the entering of living world, means only 2 to 10% of that 50% of पार का जो 50% जो पार के रूप में अर्थ के सरफेस पे आती है, उसका भी 2 to 10% एनर्जी हमारे लिविंग ऑर्गेनिम्स के पास पहुंच पाती है. So we can say especially there is a unidirectional flows of energy from the sun to the producers and then to the consumers, and we also know that the energy can be always flows from unidirectional, right? We can say that energy can be only flows in a one directional, means sun to plant, a plant to their herbivore, herbivore to their carnivore. So this is also unidirectional flows of energy. So we can say especially they can be always shows the different conditions of flowing of these energies. We can say the flow of energy take place from producer to different consumers in ecosystems, means the total energy which can be comes in the form of light on the surface of earth, that can be consumed by the plant first. After the plant, the organism which can feed on the plant, they will get the energy from there. After those organisms, the other organisms which are feed on those organisms, they will get the energy from them from in that condition. This the way through which these all organisms can capable to get the energy of the different kinds from one to another condition. So we can say it is very easy that energy can be transferred from those places to such places. So this is most important thing. But there is a question how this energy can be transferred from there in other conditions. For that there are different things that is known as the food chain, right? Means we can say the energy can be started with the help of food chain. Means because everybody knows that the energy can be always get by the organisms only with the help of the food, because each and every living organisms needed the food for its survival conditions, right? So we can say the food chain can plays a very important role for the providing the energy. So we can say these chains can involve the nutritive interactions between the living organisms, right? Biotic components of an ecosystems. We can say generally this can be also repeated in these conditions, right? So we can say especially the repeating of these units, right? The transfer of energy, or we can directly can say the transfer of energy from the producer to top consumer through the series of organism, right? That is called the food chain. जब एनर्जी हमारे प्लांट से ट्रांसफ़र होकर के सीरीज वाइज में कहाँ तक पहुँचती है, टॉप कार्निवोर तक पहुँचती है, तो हम कह सकते हैं कि दैट इज़ द फूड चेन. और इफ़ वी कैन टॉक अबाउट द ओनली ऑर्गेनिजम्स होल्ड्स ओनली वन पोजिशन, मीन्स जो फूड चेन में ऑर्गेनिज्म होगा वो केवल किसी एक ही स्टेप पर अवेलेबल होगा, दोनों स्टेप पर नहीं हो सकता, राइट? सो वी ऑल्सो से दैट द नंबर ऑफ स्टेप्स इन अ फूड चेन इज लिमिटेड टू 4 और 5. जनरली जो फूड चेन स्टेप होगी, जो फूड चेन होगी वो बहुत लंबी नहीं होगी, 4 से 5 स्टेप की होगी. जितनी ज़्यादा फूड चेन लंबी होगी उतना ही एनर्जी का सोर्स, एनर्जी लेवल भी कम होता चला जाता है. उसकी बात हम अभी करते हैं, लेकिन उससे पहले वी हैव टू टॉक अबाउट स्पेशली, एंड इफ वी टॉक अबाउट दिस फूड चेन, तो इट इज ऑल्सो दैट वी कैन easily calculate the flow of energy in the food chain, right? And it is always straight and produced in the progressive straight line, right? And there is another thing through which the food can energy can be also transferred, that is called the food web, right? हिंदी में उसे कहते हैं खाद्य जाल, राइट? लेकिन आखिर ये फूड वेब होता क्या है? वी कैन से द नंबर ऑफ फूड चेन इंटरकनेक्टेड with each other forming web like pattern, that is called food web. Especially this food web is also type of, you can say, simple structure in which this can be always attached from each other. All the different number of food chains can be attached in each other, in which there is no series of organisms. Means any producer can be consumed by any other food chains consumer, right? So there is not specific ways that can be supplied to such a conditions. If we can talk about this one, right? And if we can give the examples, especially you have seen so many times. Suppose you can take an three step, 4 step, 5 step, and food chains gathered in environmental conditions, right? You will see. Suppose we can take an example. The rat can be also eaten by hawk also. It can be eaten by snake also. So it is a common one. So in that conditions, if we can talk about herbivore, rat, snake, this is a food chain, and the peacock. In the other hand, we can say rat, herbivore, rat, and the kite or hawk, and some other organisms. So whenever these number of the food chains can be interconnected to each other, they are known as food web. And if we can talk about the types of the food chains, right? There are especially 2 types of food chains are found in our surroundings, right? We can say especially in 2 types of food chain, in which we can say easily that suppose there is a grazing food chain, that is known as grass food chain, and there is a detritus food chain, that is called the DFC. Means GFC and the DFC, they both can plays a very important role in the point of view of the development of the organism and the supplying of the energy from one level to the another level. So we can say this is most important thing in the point of view of these organisms. So if we can again say and take our example of grazing food chain, that is we can say the grass, rabbit and lion, and deciduous food chain there is a dead leaves, woodlouse and the blackbird, right? So in this way we can say that there is a such conditions can be seen, right? And we can say talk about the energy for food chain comes from the sun in the grazing. The main source of the grazing food chain that is the sun, but in case of the detritus food chain the energy for food chain come from the organic remaining detritus material, राइट। डिटाइटस फूड चेन में हमेशा जो एनर्जी आएगी वहाँ से आएगी, राइट। इवनली वी कैन से जनरली डिटाइटस फूड चेन कैन बी ऑलवेज स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम द डेड ऑर्गेनिक मैटर विथ डिकम्पोजर्स कॉल्ड द सेप्रोफाइट्स। मीन्स जनरली जो आपकी डिटाइटस फूड चेन होती है वो सेप्रोफाइट से की मदद से ही स्टार्ट होती है, जैसे बैक्टीरिया एंड फंगाई ऑल्सो वी कैन से। एंड इफ वी कैन टॉक अबाउट द अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी, right, we can say especially in the detritus food chain the much larger fraction of energy flows through this type of food chain। मीन्स मैक्स जो फ्रैक्शन ऑफ एनर्जी होगा वो आपका डिटाइटस में ज़्यादा होगा, क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं जो ग्रेजिंग फूड चेन है वो भी इसके अंदर इन्वॉल्व हो जाती है, right? So we can say it has the more energy. Evenly we can say the detritus food chain may be connected within the grazing food chain at various levels forming food web। जब detritus food chain एंटर कर जाती है ग्रेजिंग फूड चेन में तब जाकर के उस पर इसकी वजह से उसका फ्रैक्शन ऑफ एनर्जी लेवल क्या होता है, हायर हो जाता है, ये मानते हैं। अब अगर हम इसी की बात करते हैं, राइट, तो देयर इज अनदर थिंग कैन बी आल्सो सीन ओवर देयर दैट the as I told you about the detritus food chain and the grazing food chain, you can just take the example over here, right? We can say as the detritus food chain earthworm, sparrow and flacon, in the same way this earthworm can be eaten by frog and it can be entered into the grazing food chain, right? This way this food chain can be so such type of structures. And if we talk about the grazing food chain, in which you can see easily that there is a mostly they can be always in such a way, right? Means producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers and tertiary consumers. And there is another one that is called the parasitic food chain, right? Means especially it is known as the auxiliary food chain beginning with host and usually ends in the parasites। किसी न किसी होस्ट से स्टार्ट होती है और जाके पैरासाइट पे खत्म हो जाती है। लेकिन अगर हम इसी के अंतर्गत बात करते हैं स्पेशली अदर पार्ट्स की, इन विच वी हैव टू टॉक दैट डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनिजम्स और दिस फूड चेन्स, राइट? सो वी कैन से इजली दैट द ऑर्गेनिजम्स, the all animals or organisms are consumer or heterotrophs, right? And if they feed on the producer they are known as primary consumer or they can producer, they are known as herbivores। On the secondary consumer we can say the consumer that feed on the herbivore, right? Or the primary consumer are called the primary carnivore, right? Evenly on the other hand we can say that the animals that eat primary carnivore are called secondary carnivore। This way these organisms can be capable to found in different categories, right? In this way they can be classified। Evenly we can say in the food chain the producer, primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer and top carnivore, right? Evenly sometimes question can be asked about the different carnivores, because we know that this is also a heterotrophic condition, this is also heterotrophic, and this is also, these all steps are heterotrophic condition। So we can say these are the only, this is the first step which can be always start from the producers, and the primary consumers are always herbivore, right? They never will become the government. So if then after that the secondary consumers or secondary carnivore, you can say they are especially the small organisms which feed on this one, and the tertiary consumers, they are the purely carnivore which can be feed on these animals easily here. So we can say like lion and etc, lion, tiger, etc, and the last which can capable to eat these higher organisms, they are known as top carnivores generally. So this way it can be classified with the help of such conditions. So we can say this is the mechanism through which the organisms can be classified into different category. So this is the mechanism through which this organism can be classified. Later on we have to also talk, there is another thing which can be also seen, especially that is called a tropical level, right? Means what about this tropical level? If we can talk about especially tropical level, that the an organism occupies a specific place in the food chain, means the different steps of any food chain, they can be also classified as the tropical level, or we can say the different positions or the specific place occupied by organism in the food chain of an ecosystem, that is called its tropical level. Means if we can talk about food chain, especially in that condition, so in that particular condition this tropical level can be seen over there. Means if we can say, especially in case of the this food chain is suppose given over here, so we can say these tropical levels means the producer, primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary and tertiary. So these are different tropical levels, right? So we can always say that it is in specific conditions, right? So we can, if we want to explain them, suppose this producers means generally they are the base in case of the tropical levels. Means for that we have to understand about the pyramids in that conditions. So we can say, especially if the producer is here, then primary consumer, then secondary consumer, then tertiary consumer, like this, right? So for that we have to just show the steps for the food chain like over here. So this is the first tropical level, right? Then there is a second tropical level, then there is a third tropical level, so on this way. These are the different kinds of tropical level are seen over there. You can just know that the producers, they are always the first tropical level of the organisms. Then we can say primary consumer, they are second tropical level of the organisms. In third conditions, in third consumers, we can say there are third tropical levels, and we in the last we can say tertiary consumers means there are four tropical levels. And if we you can get the example for them, especially in the aquatic ecosystems, right? Phytoplanktons, zooplanktons, fishes, men and etc. So they can be always classified on the basis of different tropical level. Or you can say the top consumer means they are at the last and fourth tropical level. This way they can be classified, and on the basis of this we can say the amount of energy can be also decreases from all these type of tropical levels. Means if we can talk about the energy, right, in suppose this is the first, second, third and fourth tropical levels, right? It means that the energy is very higher in this first one, then less than first here, then less than second is here, less than third is over here. Means energy will decreases continuously whenever the this passes from the primary consumer to the top carnivore. So we can say this is the mechanism through which, so I have told you that the energy can be always decreases from one tropical level to another tropical. We can say the organisms at each tropical level depends on those that the lower tropical level for their energy demands, right? And then there is a question where this energy can be goes over in that conditions. For that you have to know, suppose this is the sun, energy will come in the first tropical level, then to the second, then to the third, and then to the fourth. Right? So what will happen? As you know, while the energy will transfer, some energy can be just remove over here. Right? Some energy can also remove over here. Some energy can remove here, and this energy can be always decreases due to the well, this energy can be utilized by the tropical level, and some energy can be lost in the formation of heat. Right? So we can say this is the on the basis of energy can be always decreases from the first tropical level to the top tropical level. But there is a how we can say, as I have already told you, the energy flows is unidirectional in ecosystem, right? And then we can say, according to the scientist known as Lindman, in 1942 he gave a calculations, especially that is known as the 10% law. Means he explained that the number of the tropical levels in a grazing food chain is restricted as transfer of energy flow is 10% low. Means in the grazing food chain the energy flow is only 10%. Means we can say only 10% energy transfer from one tropical level to the lower tropical level or another tropical level. So we can say the maximum amount of energy is लॉस ड्यूरिंग द एनर्जी फ्लो, राइट? बहुत सारी एनर्जी क्या होती है, लॉस हो जाती है जब एनर्जी वन ट्रॉपिकल लेवल से दूसरी ट्रॉपिकल लेवल में जाती है. वो किस फॉर्मेशन में होती है? वो होती है आपके हीट के फॉर्मेशन में, राइट? अब यहीं पर एक बात आती है कि व्हाट इज दैट स्टैंडिंग क्रॉप. As I have told you in the earlier when we started the lesson, that the tropical level has a certain mass, biomass, all living material at a particular time in ecosystem. किसी भी इकोसिस्टम में एक पर्टिकुलर टाइम पर जितना भी लिविंग बायोमास होता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड द स्टैंडिंग क्रॉप, राइट? एंड दिस स्टैंडिंग क्रॉप कैन measured as the mass of living organism, that is called biomass, right? Number in a unit area, right? So this way the energy can be easily just decreases from the one tropical level to another tropical level, that is only about 10%. So many times this question can be asked about the 10% law also, right? And then we have to talk about this on the basis of this energy, on the basis of another thing, on the basis of tropical levels, there is another thing that is called the to talk and understand how this 10% law can flows. Means if we can say the total energy which can be transferred from the sun to the plant, right? So this is the plant. In that condition only 1% energy, because as I have told you about the PAR, photosynthetic active radiation, means out of that 50% only 2 to 10% energy can reaches over on the surface of earth. So we can say there is only one, but after the getting the energy from the plant, means when this plant can be consumed their food, after that they can be transferred to their herbivore organisms only 10% of their body, right? Means the total amount of energy which can be utilized, that is 1% by the plant, and they make their biomass, right? And while they will transferring the energy, some energy can be lost in the formation of heat in such a conditions, right? And only 10% energy can be transferred to the herbivore, right? And after that herbivore we can say herbivore can again transfer only 10% energy to carnivore, right? This way this flows of energy can be take place over there. So we can understand easily here, this is the mechanism through which they can be always help to supply such a things, right? So we can say they can be always done like this one. Evenly means, suppose we can take an example, suppose herbivore, carnivore, first carnivore, second carnivore, and the third carnivore, right? Suppose we can say 100 joule energy. It means that 10% of 100, that is 10, right? Means after that again 10% of this, you can say that use, that is 1 over here. Then you can say 1% of, sorry, 10% of this energy can be transferred to the this third consumer. Means this way the laws can be proved by the Lindman that energy can be transferred only 10% from one organism to the another organism by different means. So that is known as the 10% law given by Landman, but it is not always seen over there, right? Because generally in case of the grazing food chain, only 10% energy can be transferred from first tropical level to the another tropical level, right? So it is necessary that only such amount of energy can be transferred in that conditions. So later on it is mostly, we can say, the energy can be transported over there. So students, as I have told you about the functions of the energy flow and of the ecosystems, you must write about the difference between the food chain, food web, and the 10% law, and write its 2 or 3 examples in your copy also. And why the energy is always unidirectional in the food chain, you must draw it and try to make the level diagram of the food chain and food web in your copy. So tomorrow we will discuss another thing. So today I want to give you one more questions, that how the energy can be flows in different places, right? And why the energy is higher, energy fluxus is higher in the DFC, right? If you know the answer, you can find the answer, you can give me on the comment, and I will talk you tomorrow. We will discuss about the ecological pyramids, which is very important topic, and also try to talk about the ecological successions. So you must read them and prepare your notes. Be healthy, be safe, make social distance. Thank you.